Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. What on earth? This guy did a backflip. What? This is Men vs. Women in Sports. My name is Angela Rose. I was born in the United States, and when I turned 18 or 17, I went to Peru, which is my dad's home country, and I lived there for a few years, and I've been back and forth ever since. And so my mindset has completely changed as I've gotten older and gotten exposed to a new culture, and now I'm so excited to react to Men vs. Women Sports with you guys. If you're new, make sure you hit the red subscribe button so you can become a friend-scriber, which is what I call all my subscribers because you guys are my friends, and I'm so happy that you're here. So let's go ahead and begin. Here we have Men vs. Women in soccer. So we're gonna see who can get the most goals. This guy just scored 1. I mean, there's no goalie, so they should be making all of them. He just missed 2. And he got that 1. But who am I to talk? I'm no soccer expert. I played soccer for the local rec center, and I was the goalie. And one time, the other team didn't have a goalie, so they asked me to play for the other team. And okay, so far the ladies are winning on this one. But anyways, they asked me to play for the other team, and at the end of the game, I wanted to get a snack from my team's parents, and they were like, hey, you're not on our team. And I was like, yes, I am. And they're like, no, you have to get a snack from the other team. And so I went up to the other team, and they're like, you're not on our team. You can't have a snack. And so moral of the story is never play for the other team. And it's a good thing because right now it looks like the ladies are winning. She didn't even look and she was able to score a goal. So maybe in soccer when it comes to having no goalie or no defense, then maybe women are better. So here we have another one. She's trying to block all these. Women's football. Why would you hit it with your head like that though? You know it was gonna hurt. I remember one time in high school, they were passing around a soccer ball, and I went like this to the soccer ball, and I hurt my head so bad. So I guess like women, we just have more sensitive heads. Men just have a thick muscle right here. They work it out like this, and then it just gets really strong. But I'm just kidding. Overall, men are just better at soccer. Okay, so she was able to flip it. So was he. She's struggling. Looks pretty easy for him. I mean, the thing is it really depends on the woman. Because if you get a really extremely strong woman who is the outlier of all women, then maybe she can be a little bit stronger than one of the weaker outliers of men. But majority of the time, men are just stronger than women. I mean, that guy was stronger than her, and they both looked pretty average. Okay, so they both got some really nice shots there. And oh, that was an air ball. What kind of shot was that? That was actually really impressive. How do you bounce it under your legs and make a shot like that? They're pretty good. I remember growing up and my dad was teaching me how to shoot a basketball. It was just a lot of fun in that you're kind of supposed to point towards the basket as you let the ball roll off of your fingers. Wow. This is like what high schoolers do in after school hours when like all the teachers have left. They're just using it as their TikTok space. And then the videos go viral and that's when they get in trouble. What kind of shots are these? It's like who's better, men or women, at bouncing the ball off the ceiling? The wall, I mean. Okay, so women have such smaller hands than men. And I've said this a lot on the channel that men literally have more muscle than women do. And women, we naturally have like more fat and stuff. And so that's why men are more athletic than women. All right. So she got a shot. Oh, I thought he missed it. Okay. Nice one. I was like so confused because I was like, okay, they're kicking a soccer ball, but I was like, why does the net look so weird? And it was a football net. Duh. This is what happens when you're Latina and like you just see so much soccer. You just think soccer is everything. You can't compare
between women's and men's football because it's just so different. like how people look at us and how people look at them is just not the same. Like women will always be like, I don't know, looked at a bit like, oh, she plays football.
Do you ever feel second class to men in football?
It's always second class. I don't think you'll ever be first class because I think a lot of people still think that men's football is like the first priority, you know? They don't think about women's football, and I think this is a big problem because now, I think that's why the big social media is really helpful, because people actually see, oh, we play football, we can play football. Or it's always like this when they say they come the first time to the game and then after they say, oh, it's not even that bad, you know? Like they're surprised. But people,
I think that's wonderful, and that's something Alex Hormozi talks about, is your expectations. And so like if you're trying to sell a product to a consumer and you give them these really high expectations, then they're going to be disappointed. But if everybody's saying like, oh, women's soccer is like the worst, and then you go and you watch a game, it's like, it's not that bad, it was fun, I actually had a pretty good time, then it makes you feel like it's more valuable than it actually is. And so maybe some of the hate that women's soccer is getting is actually a valuable thing to them. And I've noticed that there's been more talk about women's soccer than ever before, and most of it is because we've been comparing men and women's soccer, that they're actually getting more publicity than they ever have just by comparing themselves to the men. And so they're kind of piggybacking on the men's attention. And so I find that very interesting, and it's kind of sad. I mean, it must be frustrating for her to know that they're never going to get as much publicity as the men do, but at the end of the day, men are just stronger and they put up a better game because they are more aggressive and they just play a lot harder, and there's more energy and people are more invested. I mean, they have bigger fan bases. If you watch men playing, the whole country is going crazy, but when the women play, I'd be surprised if anybody even knows.
before they even like saw the actual game.
Men and women pay should not be equal just because they're playing the same sport. It's ridiculous because it's a product. The reason that WNBA players don't make as much as NBA players is because nobody shows up to the games. The quality of the product is not entertaining enough to get sales.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, right now we're looking at a men's bar, and then we're gonna see how filled the women's bar is. I mean, it's not the women's bar, but when the women are playing, how filled they get the bar. If you go to Chili's or Buffalo Wild Wings and the women's soccer team is playing, they're not gonna be that packed. But if you're there for a Broncos game or a Nuggets game, it's like, let's go, you know? Everybody gets really excited about that. It's the same bar, they're singing, and I mean, majority of the people there are men too. And I don't know why when it comes to sports, men will just yell. They go all out. You try to get men excited for other things like, hey, let's go shopping and stuff. And you know, they're just going to be sitting down on the bench looking at their phone, waiting for it to be over. But if you tell them like, let's go to a football game or a soccer game, then they get so energetic and they express themselves. But like if you try to have a conversation with a guy and ask him how he's feeling, he's just quiet. But if you talk to him about Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo or the Roman Empire, these guys just go crazy and can just talk for hours. I bet you that these people didn't even know the women were playing. They just happened to be there. They're like, oh, what's playing on the TV? Some ponytails? Wait. Wait. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, but I mean, like, it's actually kind of scary. Like, when I live in Peru and the Peruvian soccer team is playing, you hear people screaming from miles away. It's like the whole town just catches on fire, and you feel it in the streets. Everybody's life changes. It's like it's Christmas when the soccer team is playing because the streets look different. People aren't out and about. People are going to the supermarket to buy snacks and chips and beer to get ready for the game. It's like a huge event, and you just feel it in the air. One time I was at a grocery store called Wong, and they have this little cafeteria upstairs where you can get food that's like left over from the day, and so it's like on a discount. And I was sitting there and I just felt like the walls shaking. I just felt a bunch of people screaming, and I'm like, what's happening? Like, is there a war outside? And they're like, oh, like, it's soccer. Like, people are just playing a game right now and everybody's super invested. And I'm just like eating my $2 chicken. When girls score, when guys score. Is that how it is? My husband is like, he does this sound. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. What on earth? This guy did a backflip. What? The skill level is just crazy. The girls? Okay, but why is there a girls' football team? Okay, I remember in middle school, everybody used to say there's this girls' football team where they play without shirts on or something. And I remember thinking, what on earth? First of all, why are women playing football and they're playing without shirts on? Like, what? Something like that exists? And I was just in middle school trying to fathom why women would play football without shirts on. And I guess it's just because they don't get any views otherwise. I don't know.
Oh, scary. Oh, shiver me timbers.
Shiver me timbers. The guys. I was just thinking today how crazy it is that men get stadiums full of 60, 70,000 people. Because I have another channel and I have like 150,000 subscribers over there. And I met another YouTuber who was like, oh man, these women are just like embarrassing me. But the thing is like there's so many of these women clips like where the goalies kind of mess up and stuff and they just get these really easy goals that I almost feel like it's not a random thing. Like this is a common occurrence in women's soccer versus like when men play, the defense is crazy, the game is really fast. It's like where's the ball at? But anyways, as I was saying, men fill up the stadium so much that 70,000 people. And so I met this other YouTuber and he's like, you know, you have about 2 full stadiums. And I was like, wow, yeah, that's a lot of people. But these men fill up these stadiums and they get people out of their houses into the cold, freezing air to watch their games with their jerseys on, paying a lot of money, traveling to these events to be there live. And so not only do they have 70,000 people watching, they have way more people on TV and 70,000 people there live in the flesh. And so here we have the differences in revenues. 7.5 billion with the B versus 766 million. Wow. Billion. They didn't even get to 1 billion. They've like multiplied their revenue, and so there's no wonder why they get paid so much. But I mean, then we have some very athletic women like this lady who is just catching that so easily. So, I mean, the thing about soccer though is both men and women are gonna complain about penalties. Ouch! Because that's just kind of a part of the game. So we used to go to the park and play these little friendly matches of soccer. And one time this little boy who was like 4 just came running onto the field and somebody kicked a soccer ball and it hit him in the head. He fell down, got up, started crying, and as he was leaving, they hit him again. And we were just laughing because of how unlucky to get hit in the head by a soccer ball. But okay, wait, I'm sorry, another story. But in our school lunches, we would go to the gym to pass around the volleyball, and so somebody passed the volleyball to the middle of the circle and I took the initiative to slide and get the ball and hit it up. So I'm sliding across the gym floor and then a soccer ball comes and hits me in the head. So that's my kind of luck. Just kidding. I am a very fortunate girl. Men, I mean, these are brutal. It's dangerous. These guys are so strong. All right, she blocked that one. That one looked like it was going out. Ooh, she missed that one. And I mean, when I make these videos, I'm not taking away from the athleticism that these women have because I love it. I think it's great that they work out, take care of their bodies, and just try to be the best as they can at a sport. But I mean, probably not as good as the guys. So they actually tied on that one.
Paid the same amount of money.
Yeah, they're doing the same shit, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Do you agree or disagree? There is a higher demand for men's sports than women's sports.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't really think it matters too much, though. There's enough money in that
Ask the first question again. Just ask it again.
organization to go around.
There's enough in the organization to go around. Oh, please. Like, the guys are just gonna donate it out of their goodwill. I mean... Alright, boys versus girls. Oh, he made it too. What country is this? They're chanting in a different language, but I don't know what it is. You can just tell that it looks different, you know? It looks like maybe they have a school and then they have their soccer field inside of their school. It's so strange how schools in other countries look so different. Or maybe it's just like a rec center kind of thing. Yeah! Yay, girls win! They're also kind of younger, and so that's the thing that you'll realize too, is that younger kids are more even when they compete. But after puberty, guys get a lot of testosterone, women we get a lot of estrogen, and we just become very different.
Often can compete with men at the same level and win.
What sports?
Like a woman playing against a man tennis player.
And in 1998, Serena and Venus Williams did exactly that. Or tried to. They challenged any professional male player to a match as long as they were outside of the top 200. The challenge was accepted by Karsten Brosch, who was ranked 203rd in the world. And the match was a close one. He beat Serena 6-1 and Venus 6-2.
Really close.
It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster. I love to play women's tennis. I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed.
So now it's time to ask the most important question. Does questioning make you transphobic?
No, I'm just talking my honest truth. I would be...
Wow. I mean, it's hard that people don't recognize something so basic as the very natural and obvious differences between men and women. From the way we communicate, to how we act, to how we think, to how much we can lift. I mean, everything. We're so different in so many ways, and to deny those differences is just really crazy. Like, I've gotten to the point where when I talk to my husband, I just really have to remind myself he thinks differently than me. And so if I'm trying to communicate with him the way that I would communicate with another woman, then it's not gonna work, because women, we want to talk a lot. Men don't really feel the need to talk that much. They just kind of want to solve their problems on their own and feel like they don't need anybody else's help. Whereas women, we want to talk about our problems, and when we talk to men about our problems, they think that we want them to solve them, and so they start giving us a bunch of solutions. It's like, hey, I never wanted you to solve my problem. I just wanted you to listen to me and be empathetic, you know? And so, I mean, it's just really about trying to understand those differences so that we can acknowledge them and live in a way according to them. Right, so we have boy versus girl. Wait, this looks unfair. Because, like, they're kind of starting at different times. Like, she's just kind of turning around whenever.
Boys play soccer! Bro, what the? I got so many D1 offers for
It's funny.
Coach says I'm the best, bro. Does my hair look okay? See that?
That's so silly.
Wait, we are.
Oh.
Ya no hay camino que recorra tu pasado, tan solo cicatrices de batallas por ganar. El tiempo dice quién se quedará a tu lado.
Man, she didn't stand a chance. Okay, men versus women's volleyball. First off, I have to say, you put any random guy to play volleyball and he's gonna be doing a bunch of airs. I forget what this air is called, but a lot of guys hit the ball like this or just hit it however. And so they should be getting penalties for those kinds of things. But if you're just playing like at a beach or whatever, they're gonna hit the ball so hard, even though they've never played in their life, they're just gonna slap it however, yet they're gonna get the ball over the net somehow and they're gonna get the ball up. They just hit it however. They have absolutely no training, yet the guys still are able to hold up a volleyball game. You ask them to serve the ball, they've never served the ball in their life, but they hit it however, it goes over the net super hard, and they just become experts within instants. It's crazy. Yeah, like they just like hit it however. So hitting, guys, oh my gosh, yes. I mean, it's crazy. These guys hit the ball straight down, right before the 10-foot line. I've told this story before, but I've gotten hit right smack down in the forehead twice by men because they hit it straight down that I'm not so used to playing with men. And so when I play with them, I try to align myself to where I think they're gonna hit the ball, and I do so well, except for the fact that I'm not taking into consideration that they're gonna hit it so straight down that I get too close because I think they're gonna tip it or something like the women do, but yet they smack it down straight in my face, knocking me out unconscious. And men have very strong muscles in their arms. They're crazy strong. You have to be careful. But they also struggle on calculating their strength too.
This is bullshit.
Team is better than the men national team. In 2021, the England men lost against Italy in the Euros. The men's national team won against Germany in the summer. But the men national team, England, goes on like years and years without a trophy. Even the captain, Harry Kane, goes out with no trophies even in his club Tottenham. But Leah Williamson goes on with many trophies and many major trophies. Look, women and men's football is completely different. But if we talk about trophies, women's England national team is way better than the men.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like, the women's soccer team, they have won a lot and gone really far in their latest competitions, which is great because they're making a lot of publicity for the country and for their organization and everything. It's just like, if you were to play them against each other, obviously the men are gonna beat them down. But I mean, in like, the fact that they're competing at a worldwide level is great, although it's not as competitive because, I mean, for Peru to go to the World Cup is going to be really difficult because they're in South America where the competition is so high. Yet it's easier for the US to go to the World Cup because they're only playing against like Mexico and Canada and stuff. But in South America, you got freaking Brazil, you got Argentina, and it's just like really competitive. And so, I mean, for the women's team, it's like you're playing against other countries, but I mean, they're not as competitive as the men are in general, you know? So even for the women's soccer team to go further, it doesn't really mean as much as if the men did. But I do want to say that that girl has a really good level of English, and we should just appreciate that in other countries of the world, they work really hard to practice their English so that they can be able to do business with the rest of the world, or, I mean, even just things on social media, a lot of it is in English. And so if you speak English, let's just take a moment of gratitude for the fact that we speak this international language. And she spoke English really well too. Okay. Oh no, he went the wrong way. Oh, 666. Oh, she got it. He got that one. Do you guys notice how he's like 7? And that is literally the thing. It's like if you put a 12-year-old boy or a 13-year-old boy against an older woman in her 25 or whatever to fight or something, I mean, the boy, I mean, if he's like 15, he can hold up a fight against an older woman. But if you put a young girl against a grown man, it's like she could get really hurt. And so it's just crazy. Like, you can't really compare men and women because we're just so different. I mean, you put us in the same circumstance and everything is different. I mean, oops. So the biggest difference between the women's shot and the men's shot is definitely going to be the weight. So the men's shot is right at 16 pounds, and then the women's shot is at 4 kilos, which is right at 8.8 pounds.
Hide and seek basketball.
That looks like fun. Successful tackle. Wow, he's good. Boys versus girls. Oh, she's so much smaller. Oh, no mercy. It's funny because, like, sometimes we don't really think about the differences between men and women, and then we just act like there are none. That's funny. Wow, that was a good point. Oh, get it. Yes. Nice. Wow, she's really good. Oh, man. I mean, guys are taller than women too, so they're going to be able to block the ball easier. And like I've talked about before on this channel, men have a natural drive to protect, to fight, and all of these things. And so they're just like naturally more inclined for competition in general, you know?
Why we deserve to be paid, because what do we do for the world? Quite a lot.
So because women do a lot for the world, you need to be paid more than you're worth.
Okay.
The thing is anybody could just sit around and say, I want to be paid more money. And until we get more skills and more knowledge, will we be able to be paid more? And maybe the first set of knowledge is that you get paid for the amount of value that you add to the marketplace and not the amount of victimhood that you're able to convince people of, you know? And I mean, there's platforms for that, like
girl stick in a
maybe like the women's soccer team or anybody who's complaining about their pay can start like a GoFundMe. GoFundMe because I want to be paid more for the work that I do, you know? Or like kind of like charity, nonprofit kind of things. I don't know. There's some way to make money.
$50 guy stick, and I wanted to see how much harder girls lacrosse was than guys. I made a video like this the other week, and apparently the girls' head I got was a pretty bad one, and this one was better in guys. I could not believe it. Once I got a better girl's head, it was actually pretty easy to shoot with it. It was pretty accurate, but the only thing I will say is it's not as easy to shoot it as hard. But honestly, I was so surprised because I thought girls lacrosse was a lot harder. So after I shot with the girls one, I was even able to go sidearm, and I tried this boys one. It was only $50, and honestly, it was like
he's
less
throwing it a lot
accurate,
faster.
but I was able to shoot way further. So guys,
Jeez.
I think boys lacrosse might be harder.
That's crazy. It almost seems like he's trying harder with the boys racket.
For 23. Let's race.
That's so funny. They made her so fast. This is why people live out their lives on the internet.
Next and like and follow.
Girl got slapped all over the lot when he said about Serena Williams.
Oh,
she's right.
yeah.
Serena Williams is great and all, but if Serena Williams were he said she's the best female player ever, and they were like, well, why not just the best player ever? And he's like, because she's a woman.
Yes.
Like if she were a man, she'd get her ass kicked. And
Yeah.
everyone was like, no, how dare you? Right. There is something called the Universal Tennis Ranking. She would rank in the mid-ranks of college male players if she were a man. And Serena Williams had said like 5 years ago, no, I never want to play with like Andy Roddick. He'd kill me. She actually did this. There was a 200th ranked man in the world who she wanted to just warm up with. And they played a normal match for, he won 6-1, 6-0. Right, and he was like ranked 200th in the world.
It's
and the
crazy.
only shock was that he dropped a point to him.
That game has become so revolutionary. Like Serena Williams, who has done an incredible job, built incredible empires of business, and just such a successful woman. And then comparing her in the sport against men, it just shows like, okay, yeah, men are gonna win when it comes to men versus women sports, you know?
Side saw me. Wow. Okay, wait. That was an incredible move. I used to do gymnastics. Wow. That's really impressive. It's hard to even do a cartwheel. I was so afraid to do a cartwheel on the balance beam, but I was able to do it and then do some round-offs. And I wish I started when I was a little bit younger to have gotten to compete and stuff, because I think gymnastics is such a beautiful sport. And I mean, wow, that's hard. Men have a better upper body strength than women do.
I think I just started my period.
Okay, tell me why one time somebody set me the ball and I did this incredible approach and I jumped up as high as I could and I swung to hit the ball and I completely missed the ball. Can you imagine, like, the perfect pass, the perfect set, and I run in slow motion, the whole crowd is cheering, and then I just completely missed the ball. And it's just like silence. I'm like, oh, that was so embarrassing. I tooted.
How men play volleyball. Oh, suck it.
Most high schools don't have a men's volleyball team, though.
Beer, boobs, protein, football.
Beer, boobs. Okay, so.
Come on, bro, it's a girl. Come on, bro, it's a girl. Play D.
Okay, so they're telling him, like, how could you lose against a girl? Like, really? What a loser you are. And then, boom! You see?
Bro, what are you doing, bro? It's a girl, man. Come on, you better than that, bro. That's not even special, bro. Come on.
There's really no winning in playing against women. You're either a jerk or you're a wuss. So pick your poison, because those are your options. You said that last time! So here we have boys versus girls in volleyball. I actually won MVP in my high school for the best server. So we had this all-star game where we did a game with all the other like MVP, whatever players from the other schools. And I do have to add a little bit of a disclaimer that I went to like a really small school, so it wasn't that big of a deal to get like MVP or whatever. But still, we played this game, and when I played against the other girls who were the MVPs of their team, now they were really good. And I actually, oh my gosh, it was just a mess. I just messed around a lot in high school. Alright, so these guys, like, are annihilating these women. Poor girls. Whose decision was this? I like how the ref is just standing back like, wow, well, like, what am I doing here? He's not even like chasing them back and forth. He's just staying on that side of the court because he knows that they're just gonna end back there anyway. He's like, this is the least amount of work I've had to do in a long time. They're carrying her off. Meanwhile, men breaks arm. Leg falls off, keeps playing. There's literally a clip of this guy in soccer who is one-legged, running on crutches, beating women in soccer. And it was like, what on earth? Okay, so the crowd goes crazy for this girl. And then Zion doing insane dunks. Wow. And probably the crowd is just like, yep, just a normal Monday. Wow. I mean, the power from those slam dunks is scary. All right, let's see. This is women. This is horrible. Does my butt look good? Does my makeup look good? It's like, does your makeup look good? You can't even see your face. Guys, hockey is scary. Guys, hockey is literally just terrible. Men goalkeeper. Oh no. Oh, that's so embarrassing. It's funny when you watch like kids play soccer and then they run to the other goal And it's like, that's the wrong goal. That's kind of like what happened. Oh no! Ah! That's so embarrassing! No! Ah! Alright, let's see the women. Oh, wow. I mean, so you can always tell that the person who put together these clips are biased. If you have a woman who's editing the video and she wants to make women look really good at soccer, she's gonna find all these incredible clips of women and being the goalkeeper, and then she's gonna find all these men just like messing up. And then if you have a person who can recognize reality, they're gonna have a much easier time compiling those videos because there's so many more clips of like incredible men goalkeepers and stuff, because there's so much more footage because they do so many more live national big soccer events than women do. They'd just be easier to find because they get more views and stuff and more publicity. Wow. I mean, you can't deny that women's sports are also a lot of fun and interesting if it's like your daughter playing or like your cousin or something and you're going on to cheer them on. But I mean, like for a TV event, I mean, think about it. Every February we get together for the Super Bowl because it's incredible, and the women go to watch the Super Bowl too, but it's only because they want to watch the advertisements, and then the men go out and socialize during the breaks, and then we basically just switch positions. Guys, if you're new here, please make sure that you become a friend-scriber by clicking the red subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had such a wonderful time with you guys today, and let me know in the comments, what do you think about men versus women's sports? Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!